For those of you that have been under a rock lately, of course, you know Cortez Bryant is going to be coming back to his alma mater to
Okay.
put together a course on music business, along with a lot of other things that Jackson State has going on right now. Just listening to some of the things that you guys were talking about before we started this interview, you got a lot of plans for the university, man. So briefly, and we'll get into some of the minutia of it. Kind of tell the people what your plans are for this class. What exactly is Cortez Bryant going to be doing on the campus of Jackson State University?
Well, right now, the class actually started a couple of weeks ago. It's called Careers in Music. So I'm coming back and kind of peeling the curtains back on different types of positions and roles in the music business. I think that when I first got into, as soon as I graduated from Jackson State and jumped into the music business, it was a wide awakening for me because I didn't know anything about it. I was a mass comm major. I thought I'd be doing something like this on the producing side or something.
Right.
Came out the mass comm department, but my
Right.
best friend just happened to be talented and asked me to come manage him. And once I got there, all I knew, like probably every other black kid, is the artist side of things. Same thing we deal with in sports, and then just knowing the athletes. So, once I got in the business, I have to have to do all the business. All the gatekeepers, especially at the high level, and this is a problem to this day, didn't look like us.
Right.
They weren't black. And these are the people that were making the decisions on our music and our culture.
Right.
And I feel like it's been some negative, definitely some negative connotations because of that, or throughout the history of music, and then there's a need for change.
Yeah.
And I just felt like the biggest problem is that with the archaic education system, I feel like we still have on the elementary and high school level,
Right.
is exposure.
Right.
These kids don't even know this exists. These
Right.
kids don't know the things they're doing on social media, right? There's a whole, there's a six-figure paying job as a VP of that department at a music label, right?
Absolutely.
And in every corporate company right now, there's a social media department of things that they love every day. But I just don't think they have the exposure to it and understand that they could, they have the opportunities to do these things. So that's why we started with this class on the books. Just exposing them to all the different types of things they actually could do. Like you can love music and not be, what I'm saying, not have to be an artist.
Everybody doesn't have to be an artist. We
Right.
stress that
That's
on here
right.
probably every show.
Yeah.
We have a lot of artists. We need people in other positions.
Yeah,
to
so
right.
and we need that, and I think it's not only exposure now, and it's exposure, but then a pipeline, right? So, which I'm launching. Project Go Dark is this nonprofit starting next summer, which will be an internship program for HBCU students as a whole. I'm gonna bring them to Atlanta for 10 weeks next week. The first 2 weeks will be like a crash course on the music business, and then I'll position them within companies all around the country. So it's the exposure, and now it's the pipeline and opportunity, because you could know things, you could know about this, but we still have a problem. It's been that system, and on the back end of the music business is definitely a world where you usually have to know somebody or be able to go intern at these labels, which these black kids don't have the money to go to LA or New York for the summer.
Right.
Parents can't afford
Right.
that and put them up and get the experience, right?
Right.
So it's twofold.
Mhm.
It's twofold. So it's the careers in music business class I'm teaching now. Plan on launching this internship degree connection to the business, and the careers in music is just the first step. I'll be doing that this semester and next semester, but we're building out the curriculum for a music business degree, and hopefully we start that off fall 2021.
So,
Okay.
what students are eligible for this class? If you want to participate in this, what are the requirements for it?
Right now, it's open to everyone. You don't even have to be a student at Jackson State University.
Wow.
If you want to pay for the
Okay.
class, you could get in it. Right? It's closed this semester, but
Right.
next semester we'll be opening it up again. We're helping the chair, Dr. B. Rob, is great, innovative. President, provost, they're all thinking forward in bringing the best and bringing this education to the students.
Right.
So, and they want it to be even outside of outside of the university, just for
Right.
people who want to learn, to give them the opportunity if they wanted to take the
Right,
course.
right. I think for a lot of people out there, some of the biggest question that a lot of people have is how did you get yourself situated to be in the position that you are today? Coming from Jackson State University, being a part of the yard, being a part of the culture, and then
Hmm.
finding yourself, managing and being around some of the biggest artists that there are, but also coming back and giving back, and also coming back and making yourself very accessible. Talk a little bit about how you got your start, from Jackson State to the point where you are now, and how some of those dominoes began to fall for you to get here.
Got you. So I got my start because I had a talented best friend that goes by the name of Lil Wayne, right?
Mm-hmm.
He called me like my senior year at Jackson State because he had never had a manager before, and we're best friends. So I was, he was probably one of the only people I trusted. He trusted in this world,
Mm-hmm.
and asked me to manage him. Mind you, I didn't know I was a mass comm, probably heading to CNN. I had interned at WLBT, couple the public station down here downtown, a couple other places. So my
Mm-hmm.
resume tape was strong in order for me to go on that journey to
Right,
for
right,
what and
right.
and Wayne was hot too. I sat out a couple semesters, went on a couple tours with him,
Mm-hmm.
like the with Nellyville tour and tour of Rough Riders, and just picking up bags. But I didn't feel like I didn't see my way at that point. So I came back to school, so I came back to school, and he just so happily to call me at that point. And this is when very spiritual. So at this point, I wild out on the yard, and then the Lord found His way to save me.
Amen.
And
Amen.
so
Because the yard will take you down, man.
the,
The yard
hey,
will take you
hey,
down if you're not careful.
I had a great college experience.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
now I prayed on it, and I got that word that this is my purpose, and my purpose at that point was to protect him, just to cover your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I jumped in. I didn't know anything. So why I love Jackson State so much, it was gonna bring it full circle. Why I'm back is I didn't know anything. All I could take is my experiences, and I learned so much being part of the Sonic Boom of the South, you know, and being on the yard, coming from New Orleans, never been outside the city, meeting people from all different places, things that's very tangible when you talk about being a manager, skill sets,
Right.
right? And the leadership roles I learned in the Boom, and all the discipline, all those things I poured into. That was my survival kit, when I first got in, by me not knowing anything. So that's why Jackson State is so important, because I was able to pull all those experiences from me being on the yard, throwing parties and understanding the
Absolutely.
promotions
Absolutely.
and marketing. You know what I'm saying? So all those things was my jump start, and that was my survival kit, and
Mhm.
everything kind of happened. Wayne was great. The very next artist, that asked me to manage him was a guy named Drake, and I did.
You're talking like these are just casual
Right.
conversations that
Right.
came up.
Okay.
You know,
Good
I'm
little
sitting
guy.
around
Keep it
and,
cool.
Drake called me up and said he needed me to manage him. I was like, all right, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
All I got is Wayne right now, so
the
yeah,
funny,
I can.
the funny thing is that that's when I knew my path I was on the right path and
Right.
doing the right thing, because
Right.
I didn't plan on managing anybody else. I had people that came in to visit me, wanted to be like chairmen and CEOs of labels. I'm like, look, I'm just in it to help my friend,
Yeah.
and protect him while he's in this crazy world, right?
Mhm.
And people just started coming in my life, and I've been super blessed from that. 16 years later now,
Wow.
and a whole lot of success, a whole lot of artists within these last couple years, probably since this president's been in office. It's definitely been in my spirit to figure out what can I do to help equal the playing field for our people.
Ah,
So
good.
that's when these ideas start to come up. So education has been like a central piece. When I look back at my steps now, it's always been a foundation. So
Right.
that's where I wanted to start, and knew I had a wealth of knowledge and
Yeah.
experience that I could pour back into the school.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, number one, it's nice to meet you. I can't wait to enroll in the class.
Okay.
During this project, Go Dark. But you did mention, with the president we have in office, you have been trying to, figure out how can you leave your blueprint. With the Hill Jackson tour that we just had, how have you been able to voice? Because you have a strong voice here in the city. So how have you been able to voice um, your perspective so far.
So you're talking about Hill Jackson that was just
That was just
in
yeah.
Thalymar?
Yeah.
That's my guys that run it actually. So Bishop Omar is the reason why I met Dion and kind of
Okay.
Coach Prime and kind of been that's our connection, right? So that's what he and I spoke on a couple of those panels around it. So one thing, how I'm able to help is, I think what Prime is coming to Jackson to do. He's not just coming to Jackson State. He understands
Right.
that he understands that he wants this to flow outside of just the school, and he wants to tap into the community. So he understands what that looks like, right? Um, so I've been just behind the scenes because I'm behind the scenes being basically a puppeteer,
Yeah.
introducing the people, introducing my pastor Pickett, who was that guy who instilled that purpose in me, to take to actually go that way with Wayne. A lot of people don't know that,
Right.
and he really just found out that. I was like, yo, I heard
Mhm.
a sermon in your church for New Jerusalem, South Jackson, and that really got me on my wave, right? So so Prime, when he know how tapped into the Jackson community I am as being doing what I've done at Jackson State University. So, he's asking me, we've had a conversation about it, and I'm there to support those initiatives, right? So whether it was bringing the pastors together because he wanted to meet the pastors, he wanted to meet the streets, the OGs, right?
Right.
And I've talked to Mayor Lumumba all the time, so I'm just using all these relationships to connect doctors and make sure that basically like the glue between all these different relationships behind the scenes
Awesome.
to make sure that, we're thinking big and we're working in cahoots with each other, to make sure that the city of Jackson aspires
Right.
while these great things we're building with this music program with Coach Prime coming, that it all connects and really affects and pours outside of the university.
Absolutely.
So oftentimes people from your hometown and people from where you probably grew up or like Jackson State in your situation, they often feel entitled to your fame or to your wealth. How do you navigate through that?
Um, I really, I don't think I get that a lot because I've probably
That's
been the
great.
same person since I walked on the yard. So, I don't think I know a lot of people say this about me, not saying about myself, but a lot of people say that I've been the same, and I think that spirituality always kept me grounded.
Mm,
So, um, um, I don't get it a lot. I don't know if I wear it on my
that's
shoulders
good.
not to get that type of energy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I treat I speak to everybody. I'm cool with everybody just like I've always been. So I don't think anybody. I think they recognize and respect everything I've done. But
Yeah.
it's just like that's Tez.
Right.
You know what
That
I'm
makes
saying? That's
sense.
kind of like especially here, because this would be my escape from the music business. That's why I used to come to Jackson all the time. You catch me at a game, you're gonna see me out in
Right.
Jackson
Right.
because Jackson. I tell people all the time in the business. You know what I'm saying? If I get this, when I want to get away, I come here because of that. Because everybody is just my friends that I've been knowing for
Right.
20 something years. That knew me before this music journey. So it's always been that. So when I come here, it's love based off of relationships that were built way before all other things that I've done.
Right.
Right.
All the time, relationships are probably the most important currency
Yeah.
in this business. So, talk a little bit about uh, the creative community in music. You're talking about a lot of things, big picture with you and Coach Prime being here, but talk about, in your opinion, how you see music as an economic driver for a city. We talk a lot on this show about how the creative community can drive the economy in a state and in a city, and how nurturing that helps to bring money into a city. So, talk about your big picture and talk about how you see your part in it and how you see nurturing a music business or some type of scene here in the city and how that can help the bigger picture of Jackson.
I think, I mean, you just spelled it out. What it really, the impact and what it could mean, right? And big picture wise, that's exactly what I see this music business school is going to be. Right, so I plan on building a state of the art building, state of the art studios, not only music studios, podcast rooms, like just a creative space on campus. That's gonna kids allow kids and the students to tap into their creativity, right? and then outside of that, I'm gonna be there, and I have a whole distribution company. So if something, if something catches, they'll have a way
There
to
you go.
get their music out and have
There you go.
partnerships with the company. I'm not
There you go.
only showing them how to be musicians on the business side, but there also will be a vessel to where as though if they want to distribute their music, we could have a form of partnership.
Yeah.
And outside of that, through Mayor Labuma, this might be premature. I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about this, but Monte Ellis,
Go ahead.
uh, he plans on coming back and open community centers all around the
Okay.
city, which will be based off of building studios and recording
Wow.
studios
That's
for creators,
amazing.
right?
That's
So,
amazing.
so my idea is to tie all this together, right? Tie all this together.
He just donated some money to the Boom, by the way.
Donated
Right.
60
Right.
grand to the Boom. Thank
Right.
you, Monte.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So I haven't personally talked to him yet about it. This came from a conversation from my good mayor, and I told him I was down to work with him on using um, my relationships and in the music business to make sure those community centers that he want to build is equipped state of the art for the kids, and help drive them, bro. Because yes, it could change, and it's only gonna take one artist break, and we tell a story the right way
Right.
and give them reason to
Right.
stay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give them reason to stay, straighten up a lot of things,
Right.
which ties into the community aspect of it, and
Right.
and you know what I'm saying, and giving these people opportunities, jobs, kids, places to go. This could be another thing that kids could be able to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was shocked at that Heal America tour. When some of the OGs in the city was basically saying like, "Yo, we don't have a mall in Jackson, we don't have a skating ring, we don't have a bowling alley, we don't have anything for these kids to do." So they
Right.
turned into, and it was like, "But we have a gun show every 2 weeks."
Right.
So it was like these kids really don't have nothing to do, and I was shocked by that. I was like, damn, because I know when I was here,
It was a lot of
and
stuff.
I was going around the
absolutely.
corner. I was playing in the neighborhood. What's
Right.
that? Shepherd Park in the gym.
Yeah.
In the gym right around the corner. I used to
Yeah.
go there and play with the every hoop with everybody that was from the neighborhood around there, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I seen the recreational activities
Mhm.
that they had at that point.
Mhm.
So that's important, man. And you're right. If we build it right, if we do the right thing, and that's my plan. So that's my plan. So I'm bringing all this white guilt money. I don't know what the listeners are. I don't know what the listeners are, but I'm bringing all this white guilt money here to help build it up.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Cortez Bryant, who's going to be bringing a new music course to Jackson State University. It's already started, by the way. So if you are listening to us, if you are an aspiring manager or promoter, even if you're an artist and you want to get the skinny on the music business and you're listening to us in all 82 counties right now, please make sure you stay tuned for the information as it is released out to you. Anybody can be a part of this class. You don't necessarily have to be a student. If you have the money to pay for the course, you can take the course, man. And we are excited about what's possibly happening here and what's going to be happening in the city. We've got a lot of fantastic artists in the city, and I personally feel like, the scene here is bubbling and is probably as good as it has been in a very long
Most
time. This is the
definitely.
most talented generation of artists, I think, here
Diverse.
in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah.
The diversity is here, and I think all it needs is a conduit to help to kind of push that there. We got a lot of people already, bubbling and doing their things right now. So, I think it's good that you're here, and we're glad that you took the time out to come and talk to us on Third Coast Radio.
Oh yeah.
And all of the people that are listening here. Java, sounds good.
That's
all we get a thumbs up from Java.
Yeah.
So, if there's any information that you want to give to the folks on how they can get in touch, if they want to get some information on the class or get some information on how they can join the course or any of the things that you have coming down the pipeline, how can they reach out?
Well, we're going to turn that over to the JSU Director of Public Relations sitting right next to me. JSUMS.edu, music
All
business. I'm not even sure how to get to class. I'm just teaching. Yeah.
It's got all the
Well, they
information.
first have to register at Jackson State. You can go to the website to register and then contact Dr. Beckley Roberts
Yes,
to get enrolled.
Dr. B. Rob.
There
Yes,
you go.
Dr. Beckley Roberts at JSUMS.edu. That is the direct plug right there. Flood her email. She gonna let you know all the information
There you go.
on what you need to do and how you need to get it.
And that
Yeah.
little soft voice in the corner. was my little sister Rachel,
Not in the corner.
who helped to make this possible. By the way, appreciate you using
Yes.
some of your massive stroke that you have over there at Jackson State University to help make this.
We do not want to get her fired.
But yeah, so if you heard the information, man, you guys can be a part of that. Cortez, thank you so much for being on Third Coast Radio.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to have you back because you're kind of in Jackson now. You're kind of here.
Yeah,
You're kind of invested. So
Listen, I'm gonna be here. I'm
Yeah.
be here. I'm seeing dope artists. I'm saying I'm open to seeing it. I just met a dope artist. I'm wearing her merch right now. I don't know if this is online. This chick named Brise.
Mhm.
She's from Memphis, but she's dope. Got a big following. I like what I'm hearing. A young lady that manages her. Both of them were students on campus. So
Mhm.
that's what I love about it. I'm here to pay it forward and pay back and help hopefully nurture these men, women on their career paths and help them kind of navigate the music business, give them the do's
That's
and
dope.
don'ts. Because I definitely saw, it wasn't always easy. I definitely learned
right.
from a lot of mistakes and grew
right. Keep
to the
somebody
person
else
I
from
am
going
now.
through those same
Yeah,
pitfalls,
so
man.
so I'm here, man. So yeah, absolutely. I love to come back.
And that's what it's about. Third Coast Radio, man. We got more music coming up. We'll be right back.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Absolutely.
Before we stop, can I get you to do some drops?
Absolutely, bro.
All right. Well, the first one is gonna be, hey, this is Cortez Bryant. I don't know